The year's 2020.
Yes.
Ooh. You were announced as a contestant on RuPaul's Drag Race Season 12. Now let me ask you, had you auditioned before Season 12?
I auditioned for Season 7, and then that tragically went nowhere. But also at the same time, I'm like, I always feel like everything happens for a reason, and I'm so glad that like when I auditioned, I did not make it, because I was able to look at the video and say, like, you know what did they not see? Versus if they would have called me and I'm like, oh, well, girl, obviously I'm amazing. When sometimes in our no's, we find our yeses. And like, I was so glad that like they told me no. And when I looked back at the audition tape, I was like, well, what about this audition tape is not speaking to the real world? And like, I was in the audition tape, it was that thing where I overanalyze, and I was like, no, I made a mistake in that word. So restart it. And I literally had cue cards like in front of there. It was like, I'm Jaida Essence Hall from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm 22 years old and I love RuPaul's Drag Race. It was like so robotic, and I was like, this is none of my personality. And so I had to like find a way to like fall out of that and just trust that what I'm doing is good. And eventually I got to the point where it's like, you know what, I've been working hard enough. I believe that the work that I've been doing is good enough, and I deserve to give this opportunity to myself. And so I made it happen, thankfully.
So, but another thing that a lot of people don't know too is that you did Silky's makeup for season 11, the finale, right?
Yeah.
So how did you even get into that?
Silky is like, I used to travel all the time and do makeup. And like, I have to say this because I know for a fact that I'm so lucky that my life seems to just move in a way that, maybe it's just because I'm grateful for the opportunities, but when I first started drag, I was like, wow, I saw someone doing makeup at a pageant. And I was like, I wish one day I could do makeup for somebody at a competition. And so then later, over time, I started doing makeup at pageants. And I was like, this is amazing. And then I did makeup for Silky at a pageant, literally right before she got casted to do season 11. And so when the finale came, she was like, I want to look my best, and I want you to be the one to do it for me. And I was like, oh my God, that's so amazing. And I was there. And
then you got to like see kind of like the aspect of behind the stage of like
which is like really weird in my mind. I don't know why, like I kept feeling like I was there. When I was there at the finale, I was like, so at that point I was kind of being contacted about like the show, and we were really just waiting for a call back to say like, yes, you made it, or no, you didn't. And I was like, oh my God, I am too close right now to what I want to happen. I was like, there's no way that I will be casted on the show. And if I do get casted on the show, I will not make the finale. I mean, I wouldn't make the top 4 just because like I'm so close in the vicinity of the dream, like literally behind the stage where Ru is right here, making sure her teeth are like together and pulling her dress all right and tight right before the curtain came up, and everybody's like, oh, she looks amazing. And like, I already glimpsed it. I'm like, this is crazy. And I was right. I was like, I won't be able to be at the finale in this way because we didn't have the finale that way. But I still somehow got to experience that finale from that kind of side of the fence or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You walk into the workroom.
Hey, bitches! She's here!
Mm-hmm. Your first day.
Yeah.
What's going through your head? Do you think, hey, I'm gonna make it to the finale, judging by the competition you saw?
I felt like I would make it to the finale because I know like my work and dedication, but also I walked in and I was like, bitch, this is gonna be hard. Cause in my mind, I would watch the show and I was like, if I ever go on Drag Race, I want it to be a season where all the girls are just like top-notch talent, everybody's incredible. And then you walk in there and everybody's incredible. You're like, bitch, you get with sometimes you ask the universe and you receive it. But I'm just glad that like I know my work ethic, and I was like, no matter who's in the competition, I cannot be a better Jan than Jan can be, or I cannot be a better Gigi than Gigi. Only thing that I can do is be the best Jaida that I can be, and push myself to be better than I've ever been. And that's what I wanted to do when I got there.
Well, you pushed yourself so far in that first episode that you ended up, doing the lip sync. You like end up showing like, hey, you know what? I'm one of the top contenders. Do you feel like that gave you a disadvantage or an advantage? Do you think it like put a target on your back?
When it happened, I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh my God, this is definitely going to put a target on my back. But Also, I am a studious person, if that's even a word, okay? And I know that like I've watched the show over and over and over again. You could be at the top of the world for 5 weeks and win 15 challenges, and then that one challenge, bitch, good night, goodbye, you are out of here. And so I know that every week is completely different. So I was like, maybe some of the girls would be like, oh, well, we didn't expect that from her, and kind of put a target on my back. But I already knew like there were going to be singing challenges, and I am not a singer. I've never acted before. So I was like, knowing going forward, I was like, there's a lot of stuff that I'm not strong at now, that I've never done before. But when the opportunity comes up for me to do it, girl, you're just gonna have to sock it.
Yeah. Well, you end up in one of the most memorable lip syncs that I remember this past season, which was 1999 by Prince. How did you prep for that? Because that's when I saw like the Jaida come out then.
Oh my God, this is so embarrassing because that challenge was, oh, hey, feathers. That challenge, I just knew I was gonna be funny. So I did not listen to the lip sync song at all before. And I did not know it. And then after we did the challenge, I was just like sitting in the workroom like, wow, bitch. Like, you did not give it to the crowd. You were not funny. You're going to be in the bottom. And so I think like when you find yourself in especially like a surprisingly low place, I think that's where you like soar the best. Like, and also at the same time, I was kind of like glad about it because I'm like, there's a lot of things that we do in the show that none of us have ever done before. But performing is something that I do. And I'm like, girl, if all I can do is go out, like, I cannot give you a joke or tell you a story that's going to keep me here. But I know for a fact I am a performer. And if I give you all of my heart and leave everything I got on the stage, then hopefully I will stay in the competition. But I was scared that Heidi probably would have kicked my ass too at the same time. We'll just say that really fast.